Hi, my name is Connor. I'm with Wild Birds Unlimited in West Chester, Ohio. Today I'm going to talk about basics of attracting bluebirds to your yard. For more info, you can check out our store website or come into the store and we'll answer all your questions for you. So first way and most important way to keep bluebirds around in your yard year-round is to have a nesting box up. Typically they start looking for nest boxes as early as February. They won't use them then, but they'd like to have an idea of where they are. Best way to mount a bluebird box is just use a pole. This helps you control, predators and that kind of thing better. Adding a baffle will keep out things like raccoons and other climbing critters, snakes, that kind of thing. And then having your box facing east against prevailing winds is the way to go, but not always necessary if you can't do that in your yard. Some things that make good nest boxes, you want good quality material like a good wood like cedar or the recycled plastic. Also the ability to clean out your nest box like this from the side, and then with a fledgling ladder makes a big difference. Then having something like a predator guard on the front can help as well. One important thing too to consider is that just because you put a box up or the food out does not mean you will get Eastern Bluebirds, but this is the best way to start. But they typically do like wood lines into open areas, so if you have that in your neighborhood, having a bluebird box can definitely help you attract bluebirds. Another thing to consider though, if you do put a bluebird box up, is there could be issues with house sparrows, which are a non-native species. So before you put a box up, you want to consider that you may need to monitor those house sparrows from getting in there and clean their nest out if they try and lay eggs, or take further measures if necessary. Next I'm going to talk about some foods that help keep bluebirds around in your yard. Or if you get them in the winter, a lot of times they'll form foraging groups and come to feeders in the winter. So there's ways you can attract them with certain foods on top of the nest box. That's the #1 way, but some foods that they like, and you can use any kind of open tray type feeder. Bluebirds like to eat insects in nature, so typically they'll fly and grab a bug and they'll either eat it right there or they'll fly into a tree and eat it, so they like a perching area. So any cup or cup with a rim. This one's a little bit more advanced. You can actually put suet nuggets or seed in the bottom, or mealworms as well. You can also do suet plugs on the side, and you can actually control the height of the lid to keep some bigger birds out too. This one as well lets you keep larger birds out. It has a cage around it, so small birds like bluebirds can get in. Keep out birds like starlings are typically a problem. And then the foods that you can use in any of these feeders would be dried mealworms are a great option. They love insects. You can use live mealworms too. I like to typically use mine when they nest and they have their babies. They'll have 2 to 3 broods a year, so it's always fun seeing them feed the babies with the live mealworms. Some other options are like a no-mess blend that has sunflower chips or peanut splits. They like sunflower chips and peanuts, so having a blend like that. And then last would be suet nuggets, like the bark butter bits, or other options of suet. These ones are actually bugs and bits. They're mixed in bark butter bits with the mealworms. So having those in your yard are a good way to keep them around too, and then feed them if you can get them to nest. First I would go bluebird box, and then after that, have any kind of food you can to keep them around. And then if you have issues with some other birds, there's ways to keep them out too if that's a concern of yours. So feel free to stop in and see us for more info. Again, my name's Connor. I'm with Wild Birds in West Chester. Thanks for watching this video.